Well, we're thinking of a whole variety of options for how you could do better at authentication. So you can start with nearer term things like tokens or fobs that might have NFC or Bluetooth embedded in them, but you can also think about a means of authentication that you could simply wear on your skin every day for a week at a time, say an electronic tattoo. Now, we're talking about wearables. Everybody's interested in I'm profoundly interested in wearables. And what I will tell you is that we've made a lot of advances in wearables, but there's still some fundamental problems that we haven't solved. Like one of them is the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics, right? So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft. That's a mechanical mismatch problem. Well, a researcher at the University of Illinois, his name is Dr. Rogers, what he discovered is that he could use standard CMOS techniques to make islands of high-performance silicon connected by accordion-like structures that would allow it to stretch up to 200% and still be performing. And what he did is he founded a company, and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication. Now, it may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents. Right?
And that can have a design, right? Because
Sure.
they would certainly want some kind of cool design.
Options. And that's something that you wear, but you could also imagine including authentication in just your daily habits. So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So this...
You guys see it?
This pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte, and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true.
All right, Shalom. Call all Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Barakadam to the hopefully elect. So, just a quick video dealing with Esau's, these elites, and their idea of pretty much being gods on earth and how they plan to achieve that. All right, because it's written, because I often quote 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, dealing with, when it talks about those terrestrial bodies, or these terrestrial bodies being changed into those celestial bodies, all right, those angel-like bodies, those indestructible bodies being changed in the twinkling of an eye. And we get those spiritual bodies with spiritual powers and all that stuff. All right. This is what Esau Edom is trying to accomplish on the left hand with his technology. And ultimately, it's going to be in the form of that RFID chip. All right. This whole talk dealing with transhumanism and merging man with machine. All right, artificial intelligence or AI. All right, this is what Esau is trying to accomplish. And you see, judging by this guy's reaction, I don't know if it's sincere or not, but, this seems like a far-fetched idea. But again, nevertheless, all right, because this is all a part of those miracles, Esau, that he performs, again, with the power that was given to him by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, which is part of his blessing via his technology. All right. So I just wanted to, matter of fact, I'm going to rewind that. play it back.
Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but
Like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token.
So you hear
Yes,
that?
this is true. Okay?
okay, but
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower.
So you see, the you mentioned the powers, the superpowers. You know, this is how they're trying to accomplish what the elect are going to get. You know, those spiritual bodies and, you know, spiritual powers. This is what they're trying to achieve.
It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right
And
away.
ultimately, you know, they were trying to achieve immortality, because that's ultimately what we're going to get. All right, when we get those destructive or indestructible bodies, you know, we're going to obtain immortality. This is what they're trying to get. They want to live forever.
But it
but
sounds like...
this is FDA cleared?
So here's the thing. This is not science fiction. This pill is actually made by a company called Proteus, and they've developed it for medical applications. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life.
And then what happens? Does your heart?
Nothing.
You see his reaction, because again, man, when Esau starts rolling out with those chips, man, you know, this is how mass majority of the people are going to be deceived. This is how they're going to get deceived, man, because, you know, again, man, you know, often using the same examples as always, you know, pretty much deaf people going to be able to hear again, and just all type of incredible things. Right, this is going to be the new wave in the very near future. In the very near future, you're going to have people just like today. If you're paying attention, all right, you got people lining up, man, for these vaccinations, getting vaccinated. You know, in certain places there's long lines, and even more so when they start, you know, when things really start getting hectic. All right. You know, and not even with the vaccinations, like when the whole first shutdown started and you had these long lines, man, it was hectic trying to go to the grocery store. All right. You're standing in line 30, 45 minutes. All right. You know, and then that's how it's going to be when these chips start coming out, because again, man, you know, we're being that Esau's destroyed everything. All right. You know, we're all sick and we all need healing, you know, and again, man, you know, people are desperate for a cure. They're desperate for an answer. They're desperate for a solution. All right, and ultimately, Esau Edom, he's going to present the RFID microchip as the answer to all problems. All right, it's going to be the cure to all things. So just like I mentioned, you know, when the first shutdown started and you had long lines for food in these grocery stores and things of that nature, it's going to be like that. It's going to be worse, you know, once they start with these microchips, because again, man, this is, you know, people just like this guy's reaction. You know, you just see the shock in his face. You know, the things that they're going to be able to do with their technology. You know, the power of technology, right?
Change. There's your.
We can just tell that you've taken the pill. I mean, the medical
Yeah.
the medical
Does
application.
Google now know everything I do and everywhere I go? Because let's face it,
Here,
we
we
like
just-
you guys, but you're from Google.
Just give him some water and let him take that
so
pill right now.
Thanks.
Maybe Dennis. Dennis, let me ask you: does Larry make you take one of these?
It's optional. So we
Optional.
so we actually have demoed this working and authenticating a phone.
Yeah.
So you see, man, the goal of these elites, all right, trying to obtain godship. They want to be gods on earth, man. They're going to be able to track everything, you know, because again, man, pretty much they want to link humans to the to computers, man. They want to link us to the the database so they can track pretty much our every move, our every step. All right, they're going to be able to track everything, and again, that's a form of godship, because like I said, man, they're trying to accomplish what we're going to get. They're trying to obtain that on the left hand. When you read Psalms 82, Psalms 82 and verse 6, it says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. All right. So again, this is what they're trying to accomplish. All right. Because again, like I always quote 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. All right. When we're changed in a twinkling of an eye, this is where we're going to get those indestructible bodies, spiritual powers, and, because the last, it talks about in the scriptures, pretty much the last enemy that is going to be defeated is death. All right. Because again, once we get those new bodies, all right, we're never going to die. All right. We're going to be perfect. The laws are going to be written in us. We're not going to sin again. And again, this is what Esau is trying to accomplish. This is his goals. And he plans to do that with the RFID chip. All right. I always say that, it goes deeper than just being able to buy and sell. All right. But there's a few precepts lined up here. See where I can start. I'll start Psalm 17 and 14, 14 and 15. Psalm 17, 14. From men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babies. And so to say, because reincarnation is in the Bible. All right, so Esau, they so to say, they pass things on down. All right, they plan things years in advance. They plan things out, for hundreds of years, because they know that, or they believe that they're still going to be here. They believe, I don't know if, whether they believe in dying and coming back, or they just, being able to transfer consciousness or whatever, however Esau, however he's, whatever he thinks. But nevertheless, they think that, they're going to be here forever. All right. So, a lot of times when you watch a lot of these movies like, like that movie that came out with, I think it was Us, right? Being able to transfer consciousness, from body to body, and things of that nature. All right. Because again, man, it sounds like a far-fetched idea, but Esau being the wicked devil that he is, this is the sick, demented. This is what goes on in his sick, demented, twisted mindset. All right. Because again, Esau, they think they're going to be here forever. They think they're going to rule forever. They think that they're never going to be taken out of power. They're never going to be taken down. All right. And again, ultimately in the form of that RFID chip, that microchip, do they think to accomplish these things? Walking around as gods on earth, as we are going to be gods on earth, to rule in righteousness forever, all of eternity, immortality. This is what they're trying to accomplish. Verse 15, it says, as for me, because again, verse 14 that's pretty much, when you read up, it's going into the wicked, all right, which is more so Esau, Edom, all right. But verse 15, it says, as for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness, all right. Because again, when Yahweh Shai shows up, the scriptures talk about how he's going to come back in his glory. He's going to come back in his full glory. All right. The scriptures say he's not going to meet thee as a man. Because when Yahweh Shai shows up, he's not coming back as a docile, sheep. He's coming back in his glory and his power. All right. And he's going to give his elect that same likeness, that same glory, which again, when you read in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, all right, being changed in the twinkling of an eye, given those indestructible bodies, all right, unlimited power, just unimaginable things. This is what it talks about when it says here, it says, I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. All right, we're going to be given that power, that joint heirship with Yahweh Shai. All right, and again, this is what, in the name and in the power of, but with their technology, this is what they're trying to accomplish on the left hand, these wicked elites. All right. Philippians 3:21. It says, who shall change our vile body? Right? Because again, these bodies, they get sick, they get old, they break down, they wear out, but Esau's trying to pretty much bypass that. And like I said, ultimately they're trying to reach the level of immortality. All right. Which again, once we get those bodies, we're not going to have bodies that aren't going to be sick. They're not going to get old. They're not going to break down or any of that. The body's going to be perfect. All right. So again, because this ties in also with 1 Corinthians 15 chapter. All right. Being changed out of these vile bodies, because these bodies, man, they're vile. All right. They're sick. This body's constantly working against us. It's fighting against us. When you read in Jude, when it talks about well, let me get it, but I'm gonna finish this off first. It says that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. So again, we're going to be changed out of these vile, weak bodies. These bodies, they're a joke. All right. So we're going to be changed out of these bodies unto his glorious body. Because again, when Yahweh Shai shows up, he's not showing up like a man. He's coming with his full power and his full glory. All right. And again, we're going to be given that joint heirship, and we're going to be given those bodies. So we're going to be changed into, we're going to be changed in, into our glory. The Lord's going to give us that glory. All right. It says, according to the working whereby he is able to even subdue all things unto himself. And then again, all right, because, with that, again, we're going to rule the nations. All right. We're going to be kings and priests. We're going to be gods, true gods on earth. Everything's going to be under subjection under us. All right. But go to the book of Jude. Because again, man, these bodies, man, they're weak. These bodies, they're vile. All right. The book of Jude, it's only one chapter. These chains of darkness, that's what it says. But I'm already here, so I'll just get it. Oh. Jude. Chapter 1, verse 6, it says, and the angels which kept not their first estate. All right, and who is that? That's going into the elect. All right, because we were once, those angels, they're talking about the elect. All right, because in the beginning, you had Yahweh Shai and you had the elect spirits that were created before the foundation of the earth was created. All right, and they help those elect spirits along with Yahweh Shai, with the blueprint that the Heavenly Father, the Almighty Yahweh, gave to Yahweh Shai. All right, with Yahweh Shai and those angels, those elect spirits, the 144. All right, they help create creation. They were part of the process of creating creation. All right, but again, when you read on, it says, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. All right, so we went from the state, the elect, they went from the state of, being in those angelic bodies to being in these vile bodies, these weak bodies. All right, because when it says there's chains under darkness, all right, it's talking about this flesh, these weak bodies. All right, but again, when Yahweh Shai shows up, all right, the elect, they're gonna be put back in those pretty much going back to the first estate, being those angels, all right, being real life Supermans out here, and again, this is what Esau's trying to accomplish on the left hand. This is his ultimate goal, is to be gods on earth, complete control and dominance, ruling forever. This is what they're trying to accomplish ultimately. All right. So, just a quick video, because like I keep saying, when it comes to the RFID chip, man, it keeps saying this, it goes deeper than just buying and selling. All right. There's more sinister and hidden manna when it comes to that RFID chip. All right. So, with that, I'm going to end it off there, giving all credit to Yahweh, Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone. Until next time, say Shalom.